Boom. So, good morning, the Florida Wrestling Room. Thank you again for allowing me the platform. And today we have another Florida wrestler, actually wrestled down in high school at Summer Ridge, right?
Yep. Summer Ridge under Coach Lasagna when he was there.
And then he moved up to, he was a two-time state qualifier, and then he moved up to UF's Wrestling Club. He, uh, he He could have went probably to an AIA school. He had some offers there, but education was big to him, and the Florida Gators was something that offered him that. He knew of a growing club there, so he got involved, and he ended up winning a NCWA national title. So that's pretty cool. There are a lot of schools in it, so that's pretty impressive. But anyway, thanks for coming on, Coach, and I really appreciate having you here. I'm sure that this has been affecting your wrestling club, your own world. How are things going?
They're going all right. So, affected wrestling, of course. We would have been back in the room by now, getting ready, having some fun with Greco and freestyle. But pretty much kicked everyone out of the school, so no one's really up here. We got a few wrestlers still up here, so we do group workouts. Other than that, trying to basically stay at home. But I'm also a PhD student, so you can actually see I'm in my lab right now. So I still got work done.
So the wrestling is NWCA. Now, is the club on campus?
Yeah, so pretty much, I don't know, it's usually school specific, but it's our kind of gym, and they call it Rec Sports, is where all the sports clubs come from. So pretty much we are on campus, and we have it's a tricky situation, but we have a activity room pretty much that we share with other clubs. So people that do jiu-jitsu and stuff. So we get in the room, and it depends on activity status of your club, but we get hopefully anywhere from 3 to 5 practices a week, depending on the time of the season.
Are you able to steal some of those jiu-jitsu guys for the club?
Some of them do. One of our wrestlers, he wrestled up in Illinois, and he actually coaches the jiu-jitsu team because he's a big jiu-jitsu guy. So
that's awesome. So what does when we're not in COVID-19 and we're actually school is open, clubs are open? This, I'm guessing, is the off season for you as well.
Yep.
So what does an off season look like for the club?
So normally, it's a little difficult because you can't kind of make these guys be here. Some of them go home, some are younger. But usually our kind of schedule is we practice 3 days a week, and it's usually some type of Greco, some type of freestyle. We would save folk style till fall starts. We kind of try to build up our athleticism and kind of learn some new techniques, have some fun. And then other than that, it's lifting. We try to do as many team lifts as we can, but yet we don't have like our own weight room or anything. So it's kind of as much as you want to lift. If you want guidance, like we have you, but on that aspect, it's kind of team workouts and you're on your own.
Sure, awesome. So during the season, so let's talk about what does a NCWA week look like on during maybe when there is match week and not match week. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
So there's a few differences. So I don't know how many people, whoever watched this, knows what club wrestling is. So it's I don't know how it's looked at to the outside perception, but it's a very unique program, like a very unique style of wrestling in NCWA. So pretty much our years look like we probably wrestle around anywhere from 7 to 10 tournaments total. So we start off with 4 or 5 in the fall, pretty much having 2 to 3 weeks between tournaments. So we go to a tournament, whether that be a NCAA Division 1, 2, 3 Open type of tournament where we wrestle those higher level guys, or whether it be a NCWA kind of NAIA tournament where we wrestle NAIA guys. We have dual tournaments with other NCWA guys. Kind of, it's a big different level of separation to get there. So it depends. You get different guys in your room.
So even if I'm a club guy but you can take these guys to NCAA IBPs.
Yep. So like our one guy that I had the last 2 years, I don't know if people know him. His name's Tyler Sage. He was a wrestler down in South Florida, and he actually wrestled at Arizona State. So he was about to make the starting lineup. I think he was a full starter that year, 133 or 141, and he transferred to UF and came to us as UF. So of course, him being a higher level wrestler, we went and wrestled at Cleveland State Open. We wrestled D1 tournaments up in North Carolina, stuff like that, to get better competition.
Wow, nice. So I'm guessing that the NCWA, and I don't want to say NCAA, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, I know.
So you guys, that division actually, I'm guessing it sees a lot of these high blue chip athletes that have made D1 programs, but maybe were just in the depth chart and they didn't make it to the starting lineup, but they end up at these schools in these clubs. So it's like you're getting lower talent.
Yeah, you get a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of variety and kind of skill levels in the club, and every year varies. You get some guys. My funniest kind of idea is the guy, so Jordan Spieler, big Greco USA team member, right? He wrestled in NCWA the year I won. He won the year I won. So like you get a guy like that in there, but then next year's you get club all club level guys and everything. So it depends.
So what would you being a kid that wrestled in high school, and listen, you qualified for the state twice. That's a big deal. I mean, I see what it takes to get through these regional tournaments. I see when you end up in the other side of the brackets to win it back and get through the blood rounds, and it's a big deal to make a state tournament in Florida. So you were a higher level wrestler. What would you tell kids? Like, let's say I am maybe a kid at where your level was, but I want to wrestle in college, but I also want to go to college, and I have some options. I can come up to a Florida or a UCF or a Liberty or whatever it may be, and I can come to your clubs and wrestle competitively, but also experience the college life, experience the education. What would you advise kids on that? Why would you say come to us?
So, it's a really good question, honestly. The way I went into college, and my thought process was I was either going to wrestle in a lower division type of wrestling program, where maybe the school is solid, but you would have probably been middle of nowhere, small team, kind of small program. Or I was in the state of Florida. My dream was to go to UF. I was like, I'm going to go to UF. I knew there was wrestlers there. I had no idea what club wrestling was. I think at the time, it was like the UCF club team was really good at that time. But going and kind of experiencing club, I think the experiences I had were very positive. I had the best coach I could have ever asked for. And I grew and I learned, and I started to realize there's a difference between there's a lot of good things that come from club that you can't get from going to an NCAA division or something, or NAIA team, but there's a lot of things you can also get. So you get that college experience, of course. The problem with that is that lures a lot of wrestlers away from the wrestling room. So some guys get into college, they go to UF. There are a ton of great wrestlers at UF, and I can't get them. If I get them in the room, they don't stay. It's just they're having fun. They go out there, they're doing college. But then you get the guys that stay in the room, and now maybe our practices maybe don't have as good of training buddies. Like I'm in there every day wrestling. My head coach or my other coach, Jimmy, he's wrestled up in Jersey. We wrestle every day. We wrestle with our guys, give them different feels. So we wrestle at a higher level, and you can still enjoy wrestling. You can compete at high levels. You can go to these places where you think maybe I didn't deserve a D1 tournament. You go to this tournament, you beat these D1 guys. So you feel good about yourself, and it's a really good way to still love the sport, grow the sport, and you can be competitive.
And on another note, couldn't it catapult you? I mean, let's say I was okay. I made the state a few times. I end up at a club, a college club, and I'm around coaches that are really making me a lot better. You know, they're the right coaches for me, for my skill level,
Yeah.
and they take me out to one of these D1 IBTs, and I mean, I kick some ass, right? And then can't a school come up and be like, yo,
Yeah, so
you're
we
at
actually had
the level right now, and I appreciate that. You're doing the right things, but man, how would you like an opportunity to come to wherever, you know? I mean, couldn't that essentially happen? I mean, it happens at the NAIA level, it happens at the Division III level, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we actually had it doesn't happen that much for our guys because at UF usually you are a little bit more education driven. So like our guys are there. I got a few guys that are going to med school, stuff like that.
Nice.
But the guy Josh Weinberg, who started the club up when I came there, he wanted to wrestle for an NCAA team. He ended up going out to San Francisco State wrestling D2 out there for 2 years, and that helped catapult him. Tyler, our wrestler, he had people asking him if he was going to wrestle for another year, another 2 years to go wrestle for them. But yeah, it's a little.
Those guys that are those guys you have there, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to. The internet world these days, guys, is tough because everybody is in the morning. Everybody is on the internet. I wonder if I should do these at like 12, 2, 4, and 6 or something, right? So I keep trying to turn my computer around. Those guys that are going to medical school and guys like you that are getting their PhDs, man, I'd love to know what wrestling has meant to them and how, you know, being a wrestler and understanding the toughness and the ups and downs you have to go through, how that helps them focus on the hard grind of going to medical school and getting your PhD and getting your doctorate. How does that? It's got to be, that foundation has got to be amazing.
I will say one thing. So like the guys that I wrestled with that all stuck through it the 4 years, the guys that have been coaching so far that I have been progressing through and getting older and becoming like men, and we have a few women too that are just like becoming more mature. It is a big contribution to, I think, their success, and they agree with it. My buddy, he's going to med school up in New York, same grade. He ended up being actually a finalist in the NCWA, and every time he's like grinding for a test, he's like, I still wish I could get in that room. There's nothing worse than wrestling. Like he's like, we got this. There's no big deal. And you got other people who maybe aren't having a wrestling background. They're kind of struggling. It's just that mental strength you get. It's one of the best.
And that's amazing. And I think we need more folks like you and them that when they go on to their careers to come back and just talk to our youth and talk to the people and say, man, you know, this is what wrestling did for us, and now look where we're at, you know. And it's not easy, but it's awesome to see folks like yourself and other people, and also look, there's a lot of these clubs around the country, right? So don't be what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if you want to go to your local college, your UCF or your Miami or your UF or your whatever, there's local college clubs there where you can still get your roles in and do it, so you don't have to be deterred, you know?
Yeah, no, the good thing is too, with kind of now that I've been getting older and kind of experiencing the coaching, I've been coaching now for maybe 3 years now, just going into the fourth, where I'm learning. I'm good friends now with the UCF coach. I'm good friends with the FAMU FSU coaches. Like, we all try to help each other out. Like, we'll go down and wrestle their guys. We want to grow wrestling still, so we want everyone to go. If you're not going to wrestle at a deep NCAA sanctioned team or an NAIA team, you can still go wrestle and you can still enjoy it, love it. You can still compete as hard as you want and do well. It's up to you. But we're people out there.
Get a high level education.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's no partying that goes on at the Florida Gator school campus.
No. Definitely not.
So you can really get a great college experience and still get your wrestling, and that's amazing.
Yes.
So I guess I would say, hey, I mean, check out the Gator program. Check out Coach Thome. I mean, check him out. So you wrestled through high school, got to the state tournament. What was your? Did you have a club that you were involved in down there in South Florida?
Not too much. So when I was in high school wrestling, I think my downfall was my experience, mat experience, pretty much. So I had a buddy I wrestled with, and him and I, we just traveled everywhere. We just traveled to West Boca. We wrestled in Royal Palm. I think we wrestled at that club a little bit. We wrestled in Wellington. Probably what Wellington Club was the wrestling that I wrestled most at, probably. But I didn't. I went to state and I wrestled. I probably could have done better. Didn't happen. And then I kind of got to UF and I met my coach, which was Tim Ironman. And that's when I actually learned wrestling. I learned how to wrestle, learned how to be an athlete, how to be a better coach moving forward. So it's
How
just
how much has Florida wrestling grown since you were in high school?
how much has the Florida wrestling team grown?
How
What
much
was
has
that?
Florida wrestling in general grown? I'm sorry, my internet is.
No, you're right. It's it's up and down. Is
Yeah,
the
not
problem.
Florida Gator wrestling, the state of Florida wrestling. How
Oh,
much have you seen? How much have you seen wrestling in our state grow from when you started to what it is now?
so it's definitely growing. I don't follow as much as the younger guys and everything. But watching some of these guys from Florida go up and wrestle, I do see some of these guys at these D2, D3 tournaments, and they are doing well down south. I know they're growing. I know they're getting more teams to promote wrestling down there, at least at the college level. It's just it's hard. It's hard in Florida to get support and kind of get a good try. But I think Florida's doing well overall. We're
What do you
slowly moving.
think? What do you think? One of these schools, like a Florida or a FAMU or a UCF, or if a school like that uh, put up a D1 program, what could that do for Florida?
So I think that would be a major start. I think that would do well. It'd have to be a Florida team, and probably they'd have to go into the ACC wrestling, and it would be probably. I think it would be pretty successful at first. I would hoping that it would draw a bunch of those top Florida wrestlers to the programs.
Yeah, I mean, how
Um,
about being able to recruit Lake Gibson, Jesuit, Lake Highland Prep,
right?
South Dade?
Yeah,
I mean, these guys, Palm Harbor, I mean, the Mafia, I mean, all these teams. Imagine being able to recruit from those. I mean, those are
yeah.
some hotbeds, you know?
No, I agree. I think it would be awesome. I think, and you would definitely get a ton of Florida guys that would go and start competing. So it'd be nice to see that.
Yeah. I think SCU and Kaiser are like, no, no, that's okay. We're getting them right now. We're happy with this, right?
Yeah,
George and Marcus are like, no, no, guys, we're good down here. We like getting
yeah.
this. That's awesome, man. So, well, it's good. I mean, is there anything that anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything you want to talk about the club? Is there anything you want to say to wrestlers that you may know are out there and might be undecided and not sure if wrestling in college is the direction they want to go, or going to college to wrestle is what they want to do? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, you don't. So my kind of advice is to be like an. It depends on what you want to do in life. Education is always going to be important. If you're going to go to college, get a good education. Even if you're wrestling on different level, whatever level you're wrestling at, education is great. The other thing is you don't have to wrestle at a NCAA sanctioned team to feel like a complete wrestler. Like you to get better, to continue wrestling, and to just grow and love the sport. You don't have to do that. You can go. There are colleges. You have to look at the programs. If you went to UF, if you went to UCF, they have wrestling. You can continue to wrestle. If you don't want to keep wrestling, go check it out. Everyone's willing. The hard part with our program is we can't get guys to stay in the room. We get a good group of guys. We have a great group of guys that wrestle hard. They are getting better. And then we have new guys come in every other week. I have a guy come in every week. He wants to try it out. Definitely come out, try it out, wrestle. I want you in there. If it's not for you, go figure out what you're going to do now in life. That's fine. But there are opportunities out there for you to continue wrestling. You can always get better. You can compete at a high level, whatever you want to do. It's kind of on you. But we're out there. So hopefully this will kind of open you up to a little bit of club wrestling if you never thought about it.
Sure. And when we're done here and this evening, I usually put them on YouTube. So as soon as I do that, I'll send you a link. This way you can share it, but you'll also be able to share this from the Florida Wrestling Room into, I saw you guys have a Gator wrestling page and different things like that. So, and feel free to share that information in the Florida Wrestling Room anytime. I'm sure Ricky Marcus wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, so let's ask you a few questions. And I've had to relocate outside, so let me do this off the top of my head. So freestyle or folk style?
Freestyle by far.
Headgear or no headgear?
No headgear.
Was it Sanderson or Brands? Is that the names?
Yeah, I'll go. You go Sanderson. You kill Sanderson. Yeah.
Let's see. Birthday cake or ice cream cake?
Ice cream cake. Ice cream guy. Yeah.
I would ask you Coke or Pepsi, but I'm going to go Monster or Bang.
I'll go Monster. Yeah.
I see you jumping.
I'm always running around, so I got my energy.
Yeah. The beach or the pool?
Beach.
Fishing, saltwater or freshwater?
I'm a freshwater fisher. I just was fishing last night, trying to get outdoors with all this virus going on.
Awesome. Yeah, my kids are begging me to go fishing, but Mama got us locked down, so hopefully she'll let us free. I had Connor Beebe was messaging me the dates of his camp this year, and I'm like, well, hopefully my wife lets us out by then.
Yeah, right.
Let's see, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A.
For sure, right? Trying to remember all these. Car or pickup truck?
I got a truck now, pickup truck. Never go
And
back.
then I believe it is rap or country.
Country now. Country.
Nice. And you Gator football, Alabama football. Gator football.
Gators, baby. Gators.
And I am not a Gators fan, everybody. I see right there. That's the ibis on the Gator. However, I am a fan of wrestling, and I'm a fan of Coach Thome and what he's doing over there. So reach out to him, get some rolls in. If you're a Gator, if you're on Gator campus, get in there and just get some exercise in. You might like what you see. Hey, man, I really appreciate you being on. Reach out anytime, and that's all she wrote.
Thank you very much. Hope everyone's staying safe.
Hey, whenever you get the club going again, let's go live while you're in the room so people can see that this is actually a real thing.
Oh, we'll do. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, man, let me know. Just hit me up. You have my information.
Sounds good. Awesome.
See you, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.